Today we're talking about how it is that you can actually start feeling the love, joy, peace, contentment, and fulfillment that you want to feel in your life. Welcome to the Fierce Authenticity Podcast, where we talk all things life, love, and leadership with a spiritual and social justice twist. I'm your hostess, Shirani M. Batak, and I'm a relationship therapist, executive coach for BIWOC, and also an organizational excellence consultant supporting with diversity, equity, inclusion, and most important, belonging. My vision is that we one day live in and experience a world where everybody is loved and accepted for who they are, not what they can do, and that they're valued simply because they exist. If you're a returning listener, then I want to honor and acknowledge you for tuning in week after week to receive the healing messages that are shared here. And if you're a new listener, then I want to extend an extra warm welcome to you. If you're tired of all the bullshit and you're looking for a space where you can show up and hear things that are actually really real and meaningful without all the fluff, then you're in the right place. I want to invite you to head on over to www.fierceauthenticity.com/start here, where you can sign up for our free newsletter community. And one of the perks of that community is that every week when I record a solo episode, you will receive a bonus mini episode with a short practice supporting you to take what you've learned here even deeper into yourself, into your life, and into the world. So last week, we talked about how the lack of fulfillment you feel is because you have placed other people, places, and things, including your achievements, your accolades, your career, your job title, in the place of where a divine higher power needs to be. Which means that you have essentially made all of those other people, places, things, achievements, accolades, houses, cars, shoes, and all those other things your higher power, which is why you don't feel fulfilled. You have tried to fill a God-shaped hole with all of these outside material things. And so no wonder you don't feel fulfilled. No wonder you always feel like there's something missing, that there's always the next thing. It's because you've kind of prioritized things upside down. And this week, we're going to add about that feeling of loneliness and lack of connection, and how that's all a part of you putting all the wrong things in the place of where a divine higher power needs to be. So here's this week's truth bomb. Your loneliness that you feel that comes as a part of that lack of fulfillment and lack of connection is due to your disconnection from source, self, and others, because you have put the pursuit of some achievement or something that you thought would make you feel valuable and worthy, because there's this inner feeling that you're not valuable and worthy unless you achieve X, Y, and Z. And so you cut yourself off from others, from yourself, from source. You put up walls and you walk around with masks on because you have a belief that if you really knew me, you wouldn't love me, let alone like me. And this thought pattern and this thinking comes because you have this false belief that it's all of those things outside of yourself that will lead you to feel lovable and valuable and worthy. Which is why you strive so hard to achieve those things while simultaneously cutting yourself off from what matters most. Your connection with Source, your connection with yourself, and your connection with others. And you see, the problem with that thinking is that you're already valuable and worthy simply because you exist. And you don't have to prove that to anybody. No amount of achievements or accolades or money in the bank is actually going to help you feel valuable and worthy, because that's not how this works. You are inherently valuable and worthy and deserving simply because you exist. And you never have to prove that to anybody. Which means that in order to receive the gifts of love, joy, happiness, peace, contentment, fulfillment, and connection that you so desire, which, by the way, are the same things your higher power desires for you, then you have to clear out all of the false to welcome in what is true. Because, like I said, your higher power wants for you all that it is that you want for yourself. Because I know that underneath that desire for achievement and praise and accolades is your desire for love, joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, the feeling of safety, connection, security, and belonging. The thing is, when we get into the experience of believing that we are not valuable or worthy simply as we are, and that we have to do something to prove our value and our worth, we often go back to blaming, oh, it's, my parents' fault, or it's this teacher's fault, or it's this person who didn't believe in me's fault. And today, I want to tell you that, sure, your parents, your teachers, or that other person who didn't believe in you likely did contribute to your feelings of unworthiness and unlovability. And we can sit here and try to work through and heal through and unpack all of that and all of those people and how they've impacted you. Or we can go to the source of where that problem originally began. And here's your second truth bomb of the day. It's supremacy culture that has led you to believe that you're not valuable, that you're not worthy, and that you're not deserving. I'm going to say that one more time. Supremacy culture has led you to believe you're not valuable, worthy, or deserving. And that is what has gotten passed down generation to generation to generation for a really, really, really long time. And I'm talking more and longer than just the last 250 or 400 years. I'm talking way beyond that. When the first conquerors who thought they were better went out to conquer others. So this thing runs deep, and it's bigger than your parents and your grandparents or that teacher or that person who didn't believe in you. And that's why, in order to clear out the beliefs that you have about your lack of value and your worth, you need to dismantle the effects of supremacy within you. You know, that stuff you've internalized about perfectionism, judgment, having to work hard, being better than, or being less than, because that's the opposite that occurs. And then we're just toggling back and forth. You have to heal that sense of urgency, the defensiveness, the focused on quantity over quality, AKA how many achievements you have, how many letters after your name, how much money in the bank. And this is just a start. And I'm going to invite you for a moment to just pause and get honest with yourself. Because I have a feeling that at this current moment in time, all the things that you think you want are most likely related to money, power, property, and prestige. And when what you think you want falls under these categories of money, power, property, and prestige, you will always feel unhappy and unfulfilled, constantly going out there and seeking for the next thing and never feeling happiness, love, joy, and fulfillment through any of it. Because those things don't actually lead to what it is that you're looking for. And here's what I want you to know. I want you to know that your higher power has all of these gifts for you and wants all of these things for you. The happiness, the love, the peace, the joy, the connection, the contentment, the fulfillment, the belonging. And that will bring you so much more than money, power, property, and prestige ever will. And that's why you need to clear out your internal clutter. Move that aside. You know, all those things that you've put in the place of a divine higher power. Yeah, you have to clear all of that stuff, all of that clutter. Move it aside and prepare your altar for receiving your higher power's gifts, the things that your higher power wants you to experience. But here's the catch. You will have to consciously choose your higher power's gifts in place of the ones that your ego-based mind thinks that you want or need. And remember, your ego-based wants and needs are the ones that come from the mind that edges God out. So when you move that stuff to the side and you clear that clutter, you get to prepare your altar for receiving all of the love, the beauty, the joy, the connection, the contentment, and the fulfillment that your higher power truly wants for you to have and for you to experience in every moment of every day. And as a reminder, when you visit www.fierceauthenticity.com/start here and join our free newsletter community, you will receive the bonus episode for this week, which supports you with a brief practice, walking you through clearing out the clutter to prepare you to receive your higher powers, gifts, and miracles for you. Take really good care, and we will be together again next week. I want to take a moment to honor and acknowledge the amazing support team that helps make this podcast possible for you. Starting with Diego Velazquez, our podcast editor and the artist who created our custom music. Ana Olvina, my assistant, who creates all of our beautiful graphics and the transcript for every episode, which you can find over at www.fierceauthenticity.com. Vijana Sandich, who writes our amazing show notes so well that I bet you couldn't tell it wasn't me. Jillian at Epoxy Studios, whose photography is our cover art and pretty much every other image you see of me on social media. My husband, who puts up with me when it's 11:30 p.m. on a Sunday night and I'm like, hey babe, I gotta record a podcast episode right now. Is that okay? And lastly, I want to acknowledge my higher power, whose wisdom flows through me to bring these messages to you. I'm sending you so much love, and we will be together again soon.